right, for this requisite, you have to watch the video lesson 29:30 and then answer the questions for this lah. So this one is all about angles, all that. Okay, so just to check who has done the video, who did watch the video lah, I should say. Put your these remarks onto the chat. Okay, all right. Meanwhile, I shall start with today's lesson about geometry, angles, polygons, all that. All right. Now in your P5, P6, you have learned a lot of basics that is in 3-sided figures and 4-sided figures. When you progress to Sec 1, you have more sides, okay? Anything more than 4 sides, we call them a polygon. Even triangle is also a polygon, you know. It's just that they have a special name for them. A square, rectangle, they are all polygon, but it's just 4-sided. They have a special name for it. But polygon also have names. Anything more than 4 is 5, right? So 5 is called a pentagon. You heard of it or not? Okay, all right. Or why not like that? The school has started Polygon already. Okay, let me check. Elder, yeah, okay. Anyone? School has done polygons and angles already. Okay, 2. Okay. How about your school? Have you started polygons? It should be around this timing kind of thing. Okay, so never mind. I'll go through a little basics later on. So just to introduce you the polygon, the names, 5-sided names is called pentagon. This is 5-sided. Now 5-sided I put as n is equals to 5. N stands for the number of the sides. Okay, then you can have hexagon, which n is 6 sides. Octagon, okay, all this. I'm just giving you example. Then when n is 9 is nonagon, okay, and then 10 sides also, 12 sides also, they have names, but usually they are quite kind. Sometimes in exam they give you the names and they give you the size. Okay, all right. Give me a minute. Just to check, you can see my share screen now. Okay, give me a minute. Okay, so then what is here about we call them angles. Okay, for these angles, I'm not too sure whether your school require you to write out all the sides. I mean the name of the angles, things like that. But however, if I go through the tutorial here, I'll probably do more referencing. Then in the end, you go back when you do if your teacher requires you to write out the statement, please do them neatly, okay? All right. So find the values of P, Q, R, and S in the diagram here. Okay, first thing first is they wanted a single P. Now, the properties of this diagram here, what they gave is actually this parallel line is the most obvious thing here. Okay, now parallel lines are very powerful because they actually help you to solve a lot of problems. Anything that parallel lines is going to be a very good hint to start with. All right. So first thing first is, let me introduce, like, this is called straight line, right? So this is called adjacent angles. Adjacent angles meaning they add up to be 180 degrees. So this one is adjacent angles, okay? Then for adjacent angle here, it's very easy. 180 degree, you minus 110, and that gives you 70. Okay, so this is step 1. Okay, I put here. So this is 70 degree. Okay, now another thing here, I see something like this. So I would have this line here, and this line here. Do you realize that I make use of this so-called alternate angles, which is a Z, which I have a parallel lines, a pair, okay? And these are called alternate angles. So meaning to say, when this is 70 degrees, from here to here, I do referencing again. I'm going to color this. this whole thing, blue color, we call it 70 degree. All right. Reason number 2, I call it the alternate angle. I'm going to write in short for you to understand this. But having said that, do you realize that the step 2 here will require you to have 5p? Okay, step 2 is 5p, which is 2p plus 3p. All right, and this 5p is actually equals to 70 degree. And therefore, if you were to find p is 70 divided by 5, and that will give you 14 degrees for the single p. Okay, so this one you can write down 14 degrees for that. Okay, the values of p. Okay, so they say find value of p, yeah. So it's not the angle, that is the value of the p. So I don't have to put the degree. Oh, okay. Now having done that, I want to proceed to find q. So where's my q then? You see my q here now. So my q, if you look at the green line I'm doing now, I have this one and this one that involving q. See or not? Okay, so I need to have this angle. Having said that, this angle will be equals to 2p as well, same as 2p here. Correct or wrong? What is this called? Third step, I call this vertically opposite angles. This one you learned in P6 before. Okay, so this one will be 2p. Then, however, the thing is, you have only p, the value of p. So what you need to do is to find angle q, you will need to have 2p. 2p degree, okay, that will give you p degree. 2p degree will give you 14 times 2, and that will give you 28 for this angle here, right? So I know that this is 28. I'm going to write it here. So I'm going to make use of the 6q minus 2 degree is equals to 28 degree. So I'm going to put 6q minus 2 is equals to 28. So 6q will give me 30 because of that. So my q will be 5 for the reason. Okay? Question so far? I'm stopping here to do a stock check. Let me check. Anyone needs help? Okay. Okay, if not, then I proceed. All right. From here, having done Q, I need to find R. R. Okay, let me use this. The arrow will be here. So before I do arrow, it will be appropriate for me to get down to this angle first. All right. So this one, I'm going to do it for 4. How to do the step 4 here? Do you realize that I have parallel lines? Wow, then you say you forever making use of parallel lines. Yes, you are right. Because parallel line is actually helping me to look out for clue. So then I do this. Okay, so can I say this is actually 3p and here is angles in between the parallel line. Okay, and I call this interior angles because of parallel lines. Okay, so angle, I need to have 3p first. Okay, so 3p, because my p is 14, so 3p will be 42 degree. So when this is 42 degree, I'm going to write here 42. And then I need to find the above angle, which is angles in between them. So I need to have 180 to minus 42. And I get 138 about that. Let me check now. 180, just in case. Okay. So this one will be 138, right? 180 degree minus 42 degree goes to 138. So here. Therefore, my arrow will be 360 minus 138 degree. Why is it so? Angles at a point. Okay, so this one I write here. Angles at a point. Okay, for this, I'm going to write shortcut again. Then what do you call this? Interior angles because of parallel lines. Okay, I'm going to do it like this. All right, so that is meant for R, which is 2, 2, 2. Okay. That is for R. Next question will be S. Let's look for S. Okay, now S is here. S is here. In order to have S, do you realize that you have this one? Okay, let me draw this up. And you have this as parallel line. Okay, so this one is the extended line. Okay, I draw that again. In a smaller scale. Now, can I know that this is 3P, so-called 42 degree? This is parallel line, and here will be 42 degree. I call this corresponding angles because of the parallel lines. So this one will left with 42 degree. Okay, what is the reason? The reason is corresponding angle. How I know they are corresponding angle? Because of the parallel lines. Okay, so far so good. So what type of angle is R called? Okay, anyone can help me with to type in the answer? Anything that is here, what kind of angle is that? Now, anything that is small, we call it the acute angle, right? Anything that is, this is small in the sense that it is less than 90. Any angle more than 90, we call this an obtuse angle, but it must be less than 180. But anything that is here, what do you call it? Anyone? Thank you, Hao Lun. Reflex angle. This one you learned in P6 before also. Okay, so that is called reflex angle. All right, so far so good. This shouldn't be difficult. Okay, next question. In the figure, the lines PQ is here. PQ. Let's read carefully. PQ and QR meet at point. QR is here, meet at point X. Okay, so that is where is the met. PQ is parallel to RS. So PQ and RS. So I circle this line as well. Okay, and they are parallel. QY, another pair of line, probably QY, okay, and PS. So QY is here. PS is here. So these are parallel lines, right? And they give you these two angles of 67, 55. He wants you to calculate this angle called PXQ. So P, X, and Q referring to this angle. Okay, all right. Let's take a look at how can we go about this. First thing, we make use of things like this. You see here, parallel line, right? Then go up this way. So you see a Z of alternate. So you have this as 55. Okay, the reason for this 55 is because it is a alternate angles, same as this angle S here. Okay, and then after that, you can make use of 67. Oh, don't even need to. Here has a 67 already. How I get my 67? Anyone can tell me how? I give you another great one to see. See, I have a strict answer here. This line here. What do you call this angle? Can you help me to type there? Anyone? So this one itself, it will be called as 67 degrees. Anyone? Alternate, thank you. Also alternate.